Alright, today is going to be, at the very least at the start, a nice, lazy, low-key day doing something that I've been putting off doing for a while now, which is working on my Champions LIs. So, I went through my stashed tracery tokens, and right now I've got 16 teal tokens and 8 legendary tokens. And I only have 1,530 ancient script right now because I just went through and rebuilt the LIs on my lore keeper when they hit 150. So I'm going to pull out basically all of the most recently accumulated coffer of legendary items I've got to see how much script that gives me and what other various traceries and tokens, and go from there to upgrade some of my purples and hopefully upgrade some of my teals. This is the note here that the current legendary reward track 8, ends in 3 days and 21 hours, so get in there and pull your stuff if you have it now. And really, with each of these coffer of legendary items, the stuff you get when you go over 100, well, that one was anomaly because that got me a sealed tracery legendary, so a random legendary tracery. But normally what you get is something like this. Coffer of ancient script, which gives you 50 ancient script. So typically 50 minimum ancient script per box gives you an idea of about what you should be getting when you pull these out and open them. And sometimes you won't get a box of script, you'll get tracery tokens or something else. Sometimes you'll get boxes that contain more than the 50 script. So that's just kind of an average. And I'm just going to go through all these and we'll see what we get. At least go until I start running out of room here. And stuff like this from the legendary reward track is why you do your tasks, why you do, run your missions, get wrappers, do quests and various stuff, even at 150. Because it might not be getting you XP, or it might not be getting you a lot of XP if you're still leveling, but it moves the needle on the track. So I still have a little bit of room here. I'm going to pull out a little bit more. I am fast filling up my inventory with all the stuff I'm pulling out of these boxes. So, looks like I only pulled one legendary tracery, which is not bad. That's going to be a high level reward out of a random box. But I've got most of these pulled. Got 7 left, but I'm running out of inventory space here, so I'm going to start doing a bit of arranging. We've got some incomparables. Let's see how many of those we got. So out of that, we got 1 legendary tracery and 4 incomparable traceries. Pretty solid. Now let's see what we got for the big script boxes. We got 2 of these embellished boxes of ancient script. These are the ones that give you 600 script per box. So that makes up for any box you don't get your 50 in. Then I got a handful here of purple traceries, the sealed sealed purples. So again, just a random purple tracery. Got 3 random purple traceries. And, oh, no, more. Got 5 random rare traceries. And 3 purple enhancement runes. So we're starting at 1530 script. I'm going to open all of the baseline script and rune boxes first. That was a decorated, so that's 200 script. So just the lower level script boxes went from 1530 to 3530. So that was 2000 ancient script just from opening these boxes that I accumulate over time. Pull my last 7 out, see what I get here. All right, so we got another box with purple enhancement runes. It's to go along with a couple boxes of just the normal yellow enhancement runes. And then 1 more regular yellow enhancement runes. And what's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more boxes of ancient scripts. That's 350 more script. And 3 yellow runes. And 4 purple runes. Then popping open these 2 embellished coffers is 600 apiece. So at that point, basically I just pulled about 3,500 ancient script out of those boxes, plus some sundry goodies here. So typically, most of these purple ones, unless I'm looking at building up somebody's brand new LI who just got into the 141 range, these are all going to be ones that just immediately get turned into script. So those get melted. And additionally, I know that I've got some stuff in my Essence and Tracery carry-all that's been gathering and grabbing things. So I'm going to look at any essences in here that are also purple. Teals I'm typically going to keep just in case somebody ends up needing them. So I can always pass them off to somebody else. But for the most part, purples are better spent if I don't have somebody coming right up, and I've got pretty much all of my characters in this level range who are going to be getting there anytime soon. So these are just sitting here taking up space when they could be ancient script. So this is going to be at least another few hundred ancient script from all of the random traceries that have been piling up in my carryall here. Man, I wish that some of these legendaries I have were better legendary ones, like parry rating. Gee, thanks. But what can you do? Definitely, anytime you get these yellow traceries, those are just straight up melt. Because even for leveling, ideally, you should be going purple if you have the means to do so, and you're out of the mid levels. And so melting just the random stuff I've been carrying around has me closing in on 6K. So I'm going to turn off the auto gather here so that when I open these boxes, they don't automatically take the traceries into the carryall. And let's see what those boxes gave us. So Ascendant Flame, that's going to get melted. I do not have any character that primarily does fire damage or relies on it. And Heroic Alacrity, probably also just going to get straight melted. I tend not to play characters, especially DPS, who are in builds that use long induction time abilities. Single target attack damage, that is always one to keep around, because it can be useful all over the place. Perfect healing, likewise, that's going to get stashed. Actually, I think I must have... Yeah, I've got several of those that this character has built up. So I'm going to put those into my shared storage because he's not going to use them. But one of my other characters absolutely could use some teal perfect healing. Okay, and let's see what the legendary tracery was. So that came out to Horn of Gondor damage and mitigation buff. That might be something I actually end up using. Let's see, because I do slot that in several of my legendaries, but the question is, do I already have it? So where is Horn of Gondor? So it's not in my tanking rune. Is it in my tanking sword? There we go. Okay, so my tanking sword already has the legendary. And I think that is in my DPS rune, which is only a teal. So, score. That lets me actually upgrade one of my runes just straight up without having to spend a token or ancient script. So that's all the housekeeping out of the way, and I've got just shy of 6,000 ancient script to play with, and plenty of tokens to use to do so. So the first thing I'm going to look at here is my tanking champion rune, and I want to upgrade the heraldry first. Unless you're going for something very specific as far as your word of mastery, like you're looking for something very specific, as far as an ability buff or one of the things these give you, your first big bang for the buck are your heraldries, because those are 2 core stats and a secondary rating generally. And then I like to go with the word of crafts. And you can see right here, I've got 2 that are both purples. So these are going to get replaced after Heraldry of the Ox does. So in here, 141 legendary. We're looking for Herald of the Ox because that has vitality prioritized over might. This is my tanking rune. So this is going to burn 2,000 of our ancient script. But it is absolutely worth it. So when we put that in here, just upped all those stats relatively significantly. Now, probably bang for the buck. Let me just double check my other Heraldry of the Ox here is already teal. And I have 1 teal and 3 purples spread across my various Word of Crafts on my tanking allies. So, let's see if we can get 2 grand armors in teal. Go over to Word of Craft. Down to 141 incomparable. Grand armor. So these are 600 script, so way more affordable than your legendaries. I really did kind of splurge because I wanted to get at least 1 legendary upgrade. These 600s are a lot easier to stomach. So I'm going to get 2 of those to replace these 2 purples. So again, significant bumps up from the mitigation, up to $35.99 per. Now if we do the same thing on sword, you can see at the same level, the purple version is 3,200. Teal version is functionally 3,600. So 400 extra mit. It's not, oh god, it's the end of the world level, but it's going to be a noticeable bump, especially with Standing Stone Games having thankfully made it much harder to just sort of cap your stats willy-nilly now that we're in the newer gear cycle. All right, so that gives me some solid bumps to a lot of my tanking items here. And one of the reasons why I'm looking to first start upgrading my tanking allies on this character is because when we finally get the new instance clusters, particularly for the 3 and 6 man, I want to be able to tank those, because I probably won't be tanking raids on the champ necessarily, but 3 and 6 man, absolutely. So incoming damage reduction tactical is just something that I love. That is one of my absolute favorite stats, is tactical resistance of any kind, because it gets you out of so much trouble. So these cost 900 to upgrade, so I'm starting to run myself low. But this is negative 3% in 2760 as its base. So that's going to be 3% versus 2.7%. So that is 1/3% off the top. just bam. Incoming heal bonus is already teal, so that gives me all teals in, at the very least, my heraldry, my words of craft, and my words of power on this LI. So I'm going to take a look at the sword. So my tanking sword has teal, purple, and purple. And then I already did those. So we got enough to do one more, which means this physical mitt is going to be my next one. So incoming damage reduction physical is going to go from purple to teal, which means that's going to bump from 2.7 to 3%. So basically, I was able to do all of those moves with a little bit of a buffer, because I spent about 1,000 of my stored ancient script that I had before I opened those boxes, but just opening the boxes that I've accumulated over the last 2 or 3 days since the last time I cleared this track. If you don't have any need for those boxes at any given time, you can always take a character who has gone far enough through the story to have their LIs, but is not one you're actively playing, and make them into a bank character for those boxes. Like I have a captain who I am not currently playing because I have other captains I play. As you can see, he's got 151 of them that are banked up, and I'll get some more stashed before the end of this track. So do whatever you can not to lose those boxes. But now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, I'm going to put those tracery tokens back into my shared storage so that my other characters can use them. And yes, I do have a lot of these boxes also stashed in here, but I try not to use them all on one character. So some of these are going to go to my Runekeeper, some of them are going to go to probably my Lore Master, maybe some to my Guardian or Hunter. But this just gives me a nice little leg up, especially on those tanking LIs for this character, so that when we finally get our new instances, I will be in a much better place for the 3 and 6 mans in particular. And because we know that the bug still exists, if you've updated the traceries on any of your LIs or leveled any of the slots, unequip them and re-equip them, because otherwise their stat bonuses will not update. And what I was just doing there is I was checking to make sure. I was pretty certain that on this character I have all of my tracery slots all updated to 515 on both the LIs I have equipped, and yes, I do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head, because this character has really not done any of the normal like daily or weekly stuff that I should actually be doing more often. So it's time to go wreck some missions and some delvings, and then some stuff out in Umbar, so that I can actually make some progress on the Hunter's Camp quest. This is one that I have been sadly neglecting on my characters, because I kept forgetting that it was a thing once you start that quest. Once this unlocks for you, doing 16 of the dailies over the course of a week is another source of embers, as well as virtue XP, rep, and all these other goodies. So don't be like me. Do those quests. Okay, now I need to make sure, yep, I have all of my gear here.
There is much to be done.
So I'm going to start with a cut above, which is one that I honestly kind of hate, but I just want to see how bad it's going to be with today's malices. So this is purely a masochistic thing here. Let's see, today's malices. Thick hide, so incoming damage resistance basically, aside from crits. Let's see what else they pop. Okay, so we have ground fire and explosive decompression. So, not the worst thing in the world. The ground fire is going to be a bit of a pain to deal with as a melee character, but it's doable. And explosive decompression just means that I need to keep my self heals on point, because I'm going to be taking those hits every time one of these guys dies next to me. I'm going to have a timed explosion on myself. So this could be a lot worse as far as a melee DPS goes, because that primary effect there, the thick hide, is something that the first time I crit, I'm going to just peel that off of them without having to use a purge, feral strikes. And the fire damage, again, like I was saying earlier, I love to have solid tactical mitigation if I can help it, which is why even my DPS characters tend to be geared a little defensively. So I don't tend to go full glass cannon. A dead DPS is 0 DPS. So the amount of tact mitigation that I tend to rock on this character means that I can stand in the fire for significantly longer than somebody who just goes into an all-out DPS build. At the same time, I don't necessarily want to do 4 of those guys in a red line build if I can help it. I'm going to let them come to me so I don't have 4 to kill all at once. Would be different if I was doing this in non-delving, obviously, but the extra effects just make that kind of a no-go. So again, my tactical mitigation more or less lets me stand there in that fire for an extra few swings to finish the fight off, rather than having to dip out and then back in. So while it's not something that I advise everybody does as a primary strategy, for me, I am just fine standing in that fire for some length of time during these particular delvings. I just don't want to stand in multiple puddles of it if I can help it. Oh, and of course the deckhand came and added, because why wouldn't he? But, again, the red line champion self-heals and the amount of tactical mitigation I have on this character saves the day. And these two are going to walk all the way back down to this camp, so I'll just let them come down to me. Sort of figure there's no need to rush up to them. And again, that thing about standing in multiple puddles of fire. Sometimes maybe it actually is time to move. But not bad. Just had to use one of my potions that I have about 1,000,000 of because they're the cheap ones. And somebody up ahead is stealthy. There we are. And this, again, is the catch to the puddles, is sometimes if you get those scenarios where they just stack them in really inconvenient spots for you, your melee life can suck. But that's also where the champion's 3-stun scenario comes in really handy. Your sprint stun for your first attack, Born of Gondor for your subsequent stun, and then if you want to also, you have your crafted horns, which I don't use as often as I really should. Again, there's my first stun. Second stun is up. And did not hit on them, which is kind of annoying. But there's the named guy dead. Finish off his buddy here. And that'll give me one of my high tier delvings done with minimal fuss. This delving brought to you by Tactical Mitigation.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it.
So I got a Delving Scholar's Craft box, so not a reward I really care about. But the important thing is that moved the needle on the Delving Daily. And my Mission Daily, which I basically haven't even started on this character this week, effectively.
What news has come in with the tide?
So knowing what malices we have, a taste for crab should be another decent one to run at tier 6. I should be able to more or less finesse it so that I don't have huge packs of enemies. There's some places where it's going to be 3 pulls, but that ain't too bad. Especially knowing that one of the malices today is one I can basically just crit off of these guys. And with the red line champ build, I kind of crit a lot. See, immediately removed. So his mitigations just got stripped, basically the first skill I used. Same with that guy. That guy had the unlucky effect of me getting a ranged crit with my arrow. So his mitigation was stripped before he even got to me, which on a champ, yeah, I'll take it. See if I can pull these guys before their friends show up to follow them. So this is going to be one of those 3 packs. Some of them are just kind of inevitable. They hang out together. So the key thing is going to be kill and then move. On a champion, one of the things you really want to keep doing is keep your kills, and if you're red line, your strikes, and if you're yellow, your blade skills rolling, because that's how you get those self heals, your heal on kill and your chance for heal on attacks for your chosen attack type or types, depending on your build. That is really the key to a lot of your champion survivability, is just do what you need as early as possible to get those incoming heals rolling, so that when stuff explodes on you, or you need to stand and fire, you have that incoming healing. Back out of the double fire. Oh, and they've seen me already. Well, one of them did. I think there's also just going to be kind of no way I can avoid these guys seeing me, so I'm going to take them out first. And my cooked food has worn off. So I want to remember to keep that on as much as I can, because that's my passive health regen, so my out of combat health regen. And I absolutely mistimed my clobber because I was trying to go for a stun with my sprint. But done and dusted.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it.
And in the box we got, oh, another Scholar's Crafting box. Apparently it really wants me to get Scholar Crafting mats today.
Do you have need of something?
Right, Beast of Belphilus is another nice, solid choice for running at tier 6. Because everything in here can be a solo or duo pull. So it is a very controllable delving. And ultimately, that is, depending on your malices for the day, one of the biggest things that is going to determine how good or bad your delving run goes is how much control you get to exert over the pace and everything else that's going on. Like here, I do not mind starting a fight out with, 20% of my health gone if I know it's going to be a solo fight where I only have one enemy that I can kill relatively quickly because his defenses come off at my first crit. So for this one, I'm going to let the decompression hit and do the damage, heal it up real quick with passive regen, and here is my buddy the big worm. And keeping those strikes rolling keeps my incoming healing proccing, which means I end that fight at full health because I get enough incoming healing from proccing my chance on strike to heal to just keep that in, to keep those self-hots rolling. Because basically, as a champion, you have a redline champion, you have a trait called Renewing Strikes, and every time it procs, in my particular case, I get about 8k morale back. And if it procs regularly enough, That combined with having decent defenses means I'm taking less damage and I'm healing it back about as fast as these mobs are dishing it out to me.
Fewer hands by which to do it.
And then the bigger heal for killing spree when the mob dies gives me another 27 or 28 back. So just keep that rolling. That is your key to surviving as a champ. So far it's basically just giving me crafting material boxes as my rewards, but that's no biggie. It's nice if you can get things like the consumable selection boxes or even tracery tokens or selection boxes, but those are just the nice to haves. The real key thing here is moving your weeklies along. Okay, so my main food is about to run out. So in the case of the champion, that are these, I just use these spiced goat shanks. I don't use fancy food or anything like that, but it gives me another 1200 might and a little bit of resistances. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to take out the non-signature one real quick first. So that as quickly as possible, I am down to just one opponent. And of course they love doing the swarm of bees. This one over here, it should be a pair of solos. And that one, between the renewing strikes and killing spree, I ended the fight, I'm pretty sure, with more health than I started it with. And I mean, hey, that's always an ideal goal, right? Again, these non-signatures. Ending the fight at full health before the explosive decompression goes off is kind of what you should be aiming for. Also gives a good chance to kill them using as few of your longer cooldown skills as you can, saving those for the signature walking trees and things like that. These guys can just be killed by whatever normal builders and low cooldown stuff you have. Don't waste anything that's a 10 or 15 second or longer cooldown on them if you can help it. Save those for their buddies nearby. That guy just did not want to get crit right off the bat. And there's my tangled cluster of 3 that I'm inevitably going to have to deal with. But I'll do it after I get this guy here out of the way. And because I know I'm going to have to deal with the 3 of them, no cooldowns used there. So this fight is technically going to be harder than the boss fight, probably. Okay, yep, both the ones left are signatures, so get a bit of self-healing in here with bracing attack. One more down. And nicely controlled. Yeah, that was the hardest fight in this particular delving. After that, the boss himself, the Great Horn, is going to be more or less a pushover. Although again, I need to renew my fish platter. So that other food does my primary stat. The fish platter gives me my by in and out of combat power and morale regen. So in my case, primarily just used for morale regen. Alright, go ahead and knock this guy out. I shouldn't have to use any of the rest of my cooldowns on him. He's more or less a pushover. Once you get past the cluster of 3, this guy's pretty much just a straight tank and spank as long as you've got some sustain. Although he keeps throwing bees at me, so I'm going to make the bees go away at least. And I got all the way turned around. And back out. And that was kind of wild for just a second there. I was below the tavern, where obviously there's water underneath here, before everything fully loaded in, and I was where I'm supposed to be. Which is kind of interesting. But, you know, Lotro is going to be Lotro. We know this.
What news has come in with the day?
Alright, so... Yep, again, nothing special out of our rewards. Just a scholar crafting box.
What news has come in with the day? What news has come in with the day?
So Dark Treasure is a total toss-up as far as whether it is going to be a shit show or a nice doable one at the high level. Because unlike the ones that I've been doing previously, this is one where you are limited in the amount of control you can influence over your pulls. There are certain places where it is going to be 3 or 4 mobs no matter what you do. So with ground AoE effects like today's, that can be a bit fun. But we'll see how it goes. And if I die, I die. Alright, I have no idea where this dude came from. Normally they do not pull if you walk past them this way, up the hill, but I guess he just really wanted to come die with his buddy. It's another thing with delvings is that the mobs tend to have higher aggro radius, especially when you start going up in tier. And apparently they set that guy to suicidal. Alright, for the last pieces here, because I'm going to be moving into packs where I absolutely am going to be doing AoE pulls, swapping into my yellow line build real quick. because that is made for lawn mowing multiple mobs. Although this guy here, I can get by as lonesome. Even though not quite by as lonesome. Nope, that absolutely turned into a group pull. So that could have gone better, but it absolutely could have gone worse. That's why I keep potions around. So if I can bring these guys to me, I'll be doing well. Although they really don't want to seem to come with me. And this place just loves having those cutthroats, sneaky mobs. Alright, now take a quick morale restore break here before I pull the ghosts. And again, a lot of this comes down to the fact that with malices like this, where there's a lot of AoE damage, and you're looking at pulls where it is not really reliable to cut them down into 1s and 2s, it's going to be 3s and 4s, it can just be a bit painful as a melee sometimes. That's life, we know it. But now at this point, while I'm waiting for the fire to die down, I can go right back into my red line. Finish off the last boss here. Sorry, ma'am, just here for your treasure. And done.
Might you spare a moment?
And do we continue our streak of nothing good from the delving boxes? Yes, we do. A box o' crafting hides.
What news has come in with the tide?
So all the rest of the missions out of here that can be run at delvings kind of suck as delvings. So gonna put a quick pin in delvings here and pop over and see what's in the before the shadow missions. Because I think we might be on the cycle where we get Net and Glade. Oh no, we're on a crappy day today, it looks like. Yeah. We are not doing any of the Andrath, and I think that means there's one good one in Hearn today and a couple in Klager. Which is a bummer, because I was hoping to get all my tier 6s knocked out in one swell foop. but that might not be happening today. Because I really do not want to do the thing of just slogging through annoying delvings.
Will you lend me your ear?
Yeah, leadership direction is annoying.
Stay a moment.
We'll do the ruins, because that's not terrible. Just do a blanket refresh of food here to keep my timers more or less equal with each other with the 10 minutes and 20 minutes. And this one's just going to be straight up kill X number of brigands. So again, this one should be a relatively controllable scenario. Just so long as I don't pull this room like an idiot. Just got to the archer before she was going to do Sauron's word, so that's good. Yep, sometimes there's sneaky ones around the corner here, so I saw you. And again, ideally, we set it up so that it's 1 or 2, not 3 or 4. So all the fires die down, come around here, and get this archer who's all by herself. And that leaves this as a nice little 2-pull. And that ideal scenario of ending the fight with more morale than you started it with. I was really hoping to catch that outlaw while he was down the stairs by himself. Didn't work out that way, so I'm going to let him pass all the way around. And see if I can just pull these guys down with me. Come to me. There we go. Now all that should be left up here is the one wanderer, and then usually a captain who's stationary at the far end there. Wanderer goes down in basically a couple of skills, so Captain, I'm sorry, it is not your lucky day, my man. So from here, I'm going to bounce over to Klager and just see if there are any good missions for running as delvings up there or not. And if not, then back out to Umbar and to the hunting camp.
How can I be of service?
To basically level everything around me.
What can I do for you?
Okay, knock on wood, this chest gives me something good. Nope, once again, just a generic boxo crafting materials. So, out of all the delvings so far, none of them have given any actual good rewards. But so it goes. But at the very least, this has gotten 6 out of 10 of the high tier delving weekly for the 500 embers and runes. So solid progress, if not ideal.
Might I speak with you a moment?
And Jaws of Death and Aberrations of Nature are also both solid choices for controllable delvings. Jaws of Death has basically one avoidable 3-pull and everything else is either solo or duo. And we might have slightly different malices here, we'll see. Nope, same old, same old. Sometimes they do vary a little bit when you get into a different mission set, but we got the no variance day, it looks like. Which isn't bad because I'm okay with this particular set of malices. Can I get this guy before he wanders? Ha, come here. So this pair can be split, depending on if you just feel like waiting for them to split or not most of the time. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Unless you get too close, this one here can almost always be a solo pull like that. And then finish off his buddy in the back here afterwards. And that lets me save up cooldowns for the 3-pull that is basically inevitable up at the top of the hill here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my charge stun rolling. And just like that, down to the last one, and he dies. So that one right there, as long as you save up a cooldown or two for, you're pretty much solid. Again, as long as you're not really low level geared for this place and the level you're running it at. But it is usually by far the trickiest fight in here, just because they're going to be clustered like that. And past the really low tiers, they all pull together pretty much inevitably. If you're just running it at the normal mission difficulty, and I think even the lower level delvings, you can make that into a 2-pull and a 1-pull. But at this level, they're all going to come as soon as you aggro any of them. So you just live with it. Right. Should have a wanderer down here and then the one at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these as a 2. And that's that.
Is there something I can do for you?
Continuing on with the tradition of nothing good, just a boxo crafting ore.
Just a moment.
Now I'm also really curious, how close am I to capping delving writs? 4,900 of 5,000. That's kind of what I thought. I was getting close.
Something I can do for you.
So, before I do any more of these, just going to drop a few more on these morale pots. Because it's something to spend writs on that's not a waste at this level.
Might I have a word with you?
Because they're not great, but they're still something that's actually useful. Right, now the real question here is I've got a little less than 3 minutes left on my hope token. Can I finish this mission before that runs out? That was a bad spot for lag. Yeah, lag right when I'm running into the mobs. That's what you want, right? Oh well, once again, that's why I've got a bunch of potions. And get the sprint stun going on this guy. So that he functionally doesn't even get to attack me. And I'm already 2/3 of the way done. I can stun you guys too, you know. It's not polite. Go nab my last 2 patrollers over here. Then head back into Umbar and start doing the Massacre of the World dailies. And no, I was not able quite to finish this up in the less than 3 minutes I had left on my token. It just expired as I was starting this fight here, which is why I'm getting the dread effect coming back. But still finished it off, and I get to talk to the scout and get the heck out of here. Then back to sunny Umbar.
Is there something I can do for you?
Alright, can I cap the day going for an absolute straight on nothing noteworthy coming from delving chests? Because so far, this is 8 of these tier 6s, and I've got nothing but crafting materials. Can I make a 9 for 9? Nine for 9. Ritz and a box of crafting gems.
Hello.
I'm almost tempted to do not as many heads. Yeah, I'm going to do not as many heads here real quick just to see if I can make this a clean sweep on nothing good. Because that would actually be kind of comedy to complete the entire weekly at tier 6 and not get anything but crafting materials and writs out of my boxes. At this point, this is just kind of like morbid curiosity. So we got this set to tier 6. Oh, remember to put my hope token on because that ran out. Kill this one as quickly as I can. And they'll die to the bleed. This one is another one of the nice missions, because even though there are some places where you have the potential for pulls you can't control the size of completely, there are some places where it's easy to get into an unavoidable 3-pull. It's usually 1s and 2s, and it's just a straight kill quest for get the appropriate mobs and mob types. So I can see, for example, there's nobody in the tent here. I can go ahead and kill a couple of these just to make sure I get my enough of the normal brigand mobs, but you don't have to kill everybody. and you don't have to objective hunt. Sometimes that's just nice. So because there wasn't a lieutenant in the tent, I'm gonna guess that up to the left here, this campfire, yep, there's gonna be a lieutenant by this campfire. So my food is wearing off. Should be my last food refresh for a little while. But this usually means that this is going to be a 3-pole. So we'll start off with sprint stun. And then pull them out of the fire. Now basically what I need is one more lieutenant who's probably going to be in the tent up there. And then the captain, who usually patrols around the campfire over there. But it looks like it's backwards this time. Which of course, as soon as I say one thing, it's going to be the other. Just don't want this guy to wander too far. So even though I was down some health, I will take it out on this guy, because I should end up with more health than I started. Yep. So the captain's not out by the campfire, which means he'll be inside the big tent with a couple buddies usually. Yeah, let him get Sauron's word off, of course. Because I was busy finishing off his buddy. But, potion for safety, and we are done. Alright, now, gonna see if we get our 10 for 10.
What do you need?
So I completed the delving, got my tier 6 delving chest. Can I open 10 tier 6 delving chests and get crap in all 10? Survey says, yes we can indeed. Delving Scholar's Crafting Box. So that is just a solid over on
Is there something I can do for you?
pretty much all of those. Oh no, technically that was 9. I miscounted. That was only 9. So this one will just have to be finished off another day before I get the wrapper done. But that means now I get to go back to Umbar, go out to the hunting camp, and commence with the killing anything that moves. So I want to go to the east gate to make my travel quicker. Oh, and again, because I'm going to be traveling a bit of a distance, hop on the idiot pony. So I'm going to stop in the hunting camp and make sure that I have all the quests picked up on this guy and refresh any of the dailies if I need to grab those. Because I don't remember how much of the running around and talking to people in the camp I've done on this character yet.
Do you have need of something? There is much to be done and fewer hands by which to do it. There is much to be done and fewer hands by which to
Grab
do it.
all of
There
these.
is much to be done and fewer hands by which to do it.
Because these guys basically want everything in this entire general area either killed, looted, or investigated in some form or fashion. And they are willing to pay you for it.
Might you spare a moment? Do you have need of something? There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. Do you have need of something? Might you spare a moment?
And because there's ore right here, I'm just going to take a quick detour and harvest. Because I do tend to burn through the stuff. Then I will go grab the quests from the last dude here. And reroll my buffs and proceed with the murdering. I don't know if it's still technically murder, if it's wildlife, but it's really kind of murdery.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. What news has come in with the dark?
So right across the road here, we've got our buffalo starting up as well as a boar. And I'll reset my food timers as well, just because I have a damn near inexhaustible supply of the stuff that I can make for myself. And get to the killing. The great truth out here is in these areas, if you see an empty plot of ground, chances are there is a lion there. Just waiting to pounce on you from stealth. I'm also keeping an eye on the LFF and World Chat just to see if anybody's advertising for putting groups together for anything. The featured instance this week is still Glinkant until Monday, so there's not a lot of organization for that. Just, it's not one of the more popular run featured instances, or instances in general. Or no, sorry, it's not Glingant, it's Hode Valandil, but same thing. That instance cluster just doesn't get a lot of attention. It can be a bit of a slog, then power drain mechanics and some nasty fire dots. A lot of people just do not like to throw groups together for it, especially as pugs. Hi, Stealth Lion. Those lion bleeds can be nasty. nasty. But the other nice thing is that lions out here, even if you don't have a quest for them, because there's not a quest directly for them, count as double duty. They count towards the Lion Slayer deed and the Beast Slayer deed for the area. So even though they can be kind of a pain, they are a great one to kill whenever you see, because you're going to make progress on 2 deeds at once for a large portion of your time. Just so long as you're in a situation where their bleeds ain't going to kill you. Because their bleeds can be nasty. Again, kind of the proof that when you're doing these quests, just about anything you can see and kill, something those guys want. I'm just picking a direction and looking at the next killable enemy in that direction, and it's more or less all been quest mobs aside from the lions. I do wish that Guardian's sprint was not on quite the cooldown it is. Even in Redline with build and traceries and such, it is still on a 1 minute cooldown. And as our 1 movement skill, it would be nice if we could use it just a little bit more often. Since I'm out in this area, I will pick these up as I find them, but I'm kind of never going to go explicitly tracking this particular quest and go out of my way for it, just because they're so all over the place that it is a pain in the butt if you're actually trying to legitimately like do this quest as a focus. Okay, I'm apparently done with all my boars. But there's a lion. it's almost not fair when things line up so that you can charge stun into a ferocious strikes, because that is rude to the mob. Before I get into spiders, I want to get this one last buffalo here, just so that I have that finished off. Now, since I've apparently wandered all the way up here, I'm going to do spiders. Not normally the order I do these in, but, you know, shits and giggles. And that's one of the aggressive ones, so I'm sorry, buddy. Even though I didn't need to kill you, it was preemptive self-defense. And the other thing is, I've already gotten 4 more of these legendary coffers. Let's see what came out of those. That was a purple sealed tracery, a decorated coffer of ancient script, that's the 200 script ones, and 3 of the 50s. So, not too shabby. And that's basically just from XP I got in the last little while doing the doing those delvings and a little bit of killing off here. I'll get a lot more when I turn in these hunter's quests as well to move that track forward. And that's why you do all these, because again, already back to almost 700 script from basically wiping myself out. Creepy kind of scorpionish spider models out here. They definitely did a good job of making them look different from their normal spider models enough, but still being ugh. So out here we're looking for the spider eggs, patches of spider silk on the ground, and killing the spiders for some glands. As well, of course, as grabbing crafting mats when we find them. But I am going to park myself up here real quick and step away for a second because I gotta put the kettle on. All right, back to the killing. Oh, yep, and clearly this is the first time this character has been here because I just got the discovery. So I think, obviously, this is not a character that I've really done any of the full runs through of the Hunter's Camp quests. I think I've just done stuff like crocodiles and boars with him. And that's probably mostly because he was 150 way before I got here, so I wasn't using those quests for leveling XP. Oop, I did not even see that guy hiding there. It's almost like that's what he was trying to do. Of course, he would have been better off staying hidden and just letting me go past. But he didn't know that. Pauses for keeping up with kin chat. Okay, so I'm close to all my kills. I think it's the silk I'm behind on. Yeah, I've only got 11 of 16. So I need to be better about watching out for those. Okay, that's almost done with the silk. That should be my last spider egg here. And a silk right up the hill. Awesome. Okay, so that is all the stuff in this area all done. And actually, I'll just hop on the pony because I'm going to head over to the beach area next so that I can get all this stuff over there. The rock worms and the bog lurkers and the eggs and stuff like that. And then come back down, swing down, and do the crocs last. Oh, but there's ore there, which means that you, Mr. Buffalo, because I know you're going to aggro, wrong place, wrong time. Oop, nope, there's a lion. I definitely do not mind when you can get the kill on the lions, especially the signatures, before they even get their bleed attack off on you. Generally consider that a job well done. Oh yeah, this area is going to take me through the sandstorms and the worms, so I'm going to kill those guys for the spice as well, because the spice must flow. And then there'll be the lizards as well, because, again, this series of quests is pretty literally kill almost anything that exists out here. So, gonna go through the area, and if I haven't killed it already, kill it. Start the lizard coming here while I collect this. And wait out a nice little lag spike. There we go. I see you, hidden lizard. Come here. This should be the last of the worms and sandstorms I need, because that's 12 sacks of spice. But this guy's standing right by some logs, so he gets killed. Again, wrong place, wrong time. So I'm still in a good general area for getting more lizards and such. But I might keep going if I don't see any right this way. Oh, grab one of these while I'm here. But there we go, here is a lizard and then another lizard down the way. What I might do is kind of get what I can see easily in the area, head to the beach and finish up the stuff that's down there, and then come back through when things have had a chance to respawn and come back. Just so that I'm not doing the kind of hide and seek with the lizard spawns. So I'm definitely at the point where I'm starting to go far afield to find the lizards. So I'm going further and further away from the rest of my quest objectives. But I actually have found a nice little lizard circle here, so we'll do that. I know I saw a lizard or two back this way. Here we are. One up here, and then another one on the other side of the sandstorm. Two up here. Nice. So these three are going to almost finish me. I did complete the Beast Slayer deed, but that just means I'm on to the advanced. There's going to be one more lizard ahead here. And that would be nice to be able to hopefully find one more after that guy and not have to come back through waiting on respawns. See, how far up am I? Oh, there we go. There's our last lizard. And I am officially way the heck out in the middle of nowhere. And as I recall, there's not a way to get out of this kind of little bowl canyon up ahead. So I am just going to hop back on the idiot pony and head back down this way and keep going the way I was originally going. So back to the beach where I'll be able to find rock worms and bog lurkers and birds in their nests. Okay, there's just so many lions here. I have got to take some of these out. And this sandstorm is just seriously starting to bug me. Okay, apparently I just pulled everything on my way through there. But there's all these lions, so I may as well just get all these double kills going. Initially, I thought it was just going to be one or two, but I kept passing by them, and at a certain point in time, when you get a concentration like this, it's just not worth passing them up. Because right in this little area that I'm going through here, there's like a solid half dozen. And yes, unless the cub attacks me and I have no other choice, the lion cub is going to be left alone and let live. Like, I know it's silly, but... Okay, should be one more here. Now, I'll head back towards the beach. But I mean, when you get more than half a dozen lions all in the same easily accessible cluster like that, you just gotta. Speaking of, apparently we're just lion hunting now. I'm sure that my food ran out ages ago. And again, there's yet one more lion right down here. So that's just a silly amount of progress towards that Lion Slayer deed. This could also be known as why I do not have a lot of things 100% done in this game, because sidetracked. Okay, come on, idiot pony, stop when I tell you. I'm actually almost done with the Lion Slayer deed. If I find a couple more stealth lions on my way there, I'll be through with the regular and on to the advanced. But I don't see any right around here, so back on the mount we go. just gonna run straight past that buffalo who was aggressive at Rockworm. Getting to the point where we're starting to get these guys, and they're part of that quest as well. Rockworms, bog lurkers, and really that buffalo followed me all the way out here. Must have really wanted to die. These guys aren't for a quest, but they just drop good mats. They drop Umbari hide for tailors, but they also have a chance of dropping goat shanks, which is, again, a good cooking material. So it's usually worth it to stop and kill them if you see a handful of them in an easy space like that. Now back to quest mobs. So the worms, I'm after their glands, because, you know, can never have enough glands. Bog lurkers, I'm looking for their eggs and their their legs and their seeds. And coming up on the area, yep, here we are, where I'll start to find the nests on these little cliff faces as well on the rocks. There'll be some birds' nests there that I shall pillage for their contents. So these Seahawk nests are what I'm looking for, and they're always on these kind of little rocky mini cliffs, it seems like. And nice cool beach view here. Always gotta love the views that we get in Umbar. There are some really good vistas we got with this expansion. Like, I really do think that, especially starting around the time of Gundabad and definitely before the Shadow, they really started having their engine to the point where they could have more of those long distance clear view vistas. And they definitely started designing some of their open world areas with that in mind, like setting up those cool views. Which is good, because one of the things, like, Middle Earth should be, you know, scenic and impressive. Okay, that appears to be about all from this area. Oh, there's a rockworm. Let's see. I want to double check something real quick. Oh, yep, okay. Just saw that somebody is putting together an FI group and had a spot, so sent the tell to see. Awesome. So I get to take a little detour.
Umbar, sorcerers trained by Sauron, the great necromancer, seek to bring terror to Numinas by raising the long-dead remains of
Looks like they're a
Valandor,
little ways in.
third king of Arnor, as a terrible wight. Only the most courageous of the free peoples will be able to put an end to their evil deeds.
Where are they at? Are they around the other side? Nope, they're this side still. Get my scrolls and tokens up. And I see we have a bear tank, so I'm pretty much just here to hit stuff. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to follow the group and do the stuff. The joys of running with ranged people. It's a melee. Sometimes you just do not get to do a whole lot in trash pulls like this. The joys of mobs that have the invincibility that they do. Always kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, looks like we're pulling them all in here. Kind of makes me wish a little bit that I was in a AoE spec, but I still much prefer to be in red line, especially in a pug when you don't know who's doing what. Red just has that survivability factor to it. Okay, that was our last brazier. Plus, red has that mob and boss deleting factor. We appear to be missing our tank, perhaps. Nope, we have two of the group off on their own. We're actually going technically the right direction. I just try to follow the tank when I can. There we go. Now we've got us all together and we're going to head up the stairs. Because this gate was opened with the last brazier that we lit. And much better. I hear combat up ahead. And now we have the gauntlet, which I am definitely waiting for the tank to be here for. Because somebody always does that. Inevitably somebody is gonna go flying. Okay, next gauntlet piece is a whole bunch of these flame guys that we just kind of have to wait for. At the least, everybody is laughing about that, so it's not like this is a group that people are being sweaty in or anything. Yeah, pretty much we just sit here and we kill increasing numbers of these guys until dude gets sick of throwing them at us. We got 2 champions in the group, which is nice. I'm gonna guess, just based on statistics and probability, that the other champion is probably a yellow line spec, just because most people who do DPS as a champ go yellow a lot of the time, it seems like. I just really like red, because I can erase mobs one at a time. But it is kind of comedy to have the 2 champ frontline here just murking these things as they come up. No, Lore Master, don't try and run through the flames yet. Alright, that is that. Yeah, and even redline, I still do have a decent amount of AoE I can throw out. I'm just not a prime AoE build. Yeah, these guys in their power drain just suck. Oh, and we're going right in. Alright, technically we should split these guys, but I guess Leroy. There we go. Nope. Well, we almost had them split. Okay, dude here is toast. Now somebody gets to pick up the ancient remains. Let's see, light armor head. I will roll on that, because that might actually be good for filler pieces for some of my lobies. And that is that. I don't really care about finishing the Kurgrim kill quest. And let's see what I got loot-wise. Got an essence, got my bounties to sell. Some legs, obviously, to sell. Okay, okay, come on. Why are you being... There we go. A yellow tracery is definitely a sell, and crimson box of ancient treasures. Survey says... Alright, did get me one of the Valiant Greaves sets, so technically I can have a... This would not be bad to put in the mix on my captain when I have them spec blue line, because it has the outgoing healing rating, and it would give me the 4-piece as well if I use all of those. So that's actually a really solid pull, along with an enhancement rune and an enhancement rune. Oh, I need to turn this back to auto gather. So that was 100% worth it. So that will let me basically add those legs to the gear that I move around, or actually probably just keep them on my captain, because there's not much sense in putting them on my champion here or the guardian. But that will be a really solid set, especially with some good essences. Was that one essence slot or multiple? Okay, so it's got one and it's just the basic essence. So I could even put another outgoing healing rune in those and have that be part of a 4-piece for my captain's healing set. So that was absolutely a really lucky watching LFF chat, getting into a group and getting probably one of the best pieces of loot I could have pulled from there, because I don't technically need the leggings for a DPS or tanking set so much, because I've got a decent kind of universal fill piece there for until we start getting our dungeon gear. But I got a solid healing piece. And since that is what I'd like to be able to build up and do on the captain, gotta say I'm happy with that. Plus, it's just nice to be able to get into a group that was already put together with a healer and a tank, and I just had to show up and hit stuff. Okay, I've still got some nests I need. Missing 3 nests. I'm wondering, they might be along this ridge up here. Oh, of course, as soon as I mount up, I find one. So I might have already gotten these. Nope, I haven't gotten these yet, because I can see one up on the rocks there. And I've got all of my lizards, so I don't need any more of those. After this nest, I need one more nest someplace. This won't be it, because I've gotten that one already. It's probably time to head back towards the water. And keep getting the last of my bog lurkers here while I look for one more nest. Oh, and apparently that rockworm just decided he wants to come die, because that was a mistake on his part. Okay, all my bog lurkers are done. I just need one more nest and then I can head down to the beach, get my crabs. Okay, I've got all these nests. Are there any further up here? I hate it when you're missing one last thing. Do I see any more nests in range? Oh, is that one down there? That's one down there. Ha. Okay, so now, even though I can get the crabs in the same general area as the crocodiles when I go back on the near the hunter's camp, they're so much easier to get here because this beach is open as opposed to being choked up by all the reeds. So I'm just going to run through and basically take a pass through and get all the crabs that I can on this nice open beach. Because this will let me get crab claws. I might not get all the claws from one pass, but I should be able to get most of them. And that'll make getting the rest of them among the crocodiles that much easier. Heck, I might even get all the crab claws here, because that's 10 of 12. And I got 2 right here. So I ain't gonna complain. Twelve of 12 done. And again, I'm going to generally ignore the picking up poop quest there. I might ride past that general area and stop and pick up any I see along the way, but it's just such a pain doing the hunt for it and find it that I'm not going to go out of my way to do that and finish it. That's when I will probably finish in pieces as I do repeated quests through the area. I have the distinct feeling that this bog lurker really wants to die, as apparently does this rockworm. They died so that I may mine. I regret nothing. And again, this buffalo I am certain is going to attack. But it was a mistake on his part. And seriously, the rockworm just tried to come up at the end of that and butt in. And wow, is he going to follow me all the way here? He is. That was not the brightest thing he has ever done. Right, so that finished my Lion Slayer deed and started me on to Lion Slayer Advanced. So I'm gonna pull this guy to me real quick. There we go. And I think this is the arena above town, if I remember right where I am. Yeah. So I should still be able to swing basically around the edge of it. Nope, I am going to have to go through this way. Basically just looking for a way to bypass having to run back through town and around to get back to the beach area. All these tucked away areas, like I just really want them to put stuff up here for us to fight in groups, preferably. Oh, that was a big jump. I'm sorry, horse. Interesting, somebody's doing a 141 plus stone height run. It's not the current featured instance. I wonder if they're looking for something specific or if they think that the FI has reset already. And again, not searching them out, but when I see them, stop and gather these to make progress on the quest. And the aggressive boar is going to be a jerk, so take care of him real quick. So that gives me actually very nearly all of them. That's 14 to 20. So I will probably finish this next time I come back through this area. And sorry, Lion, you were just kind of there. Kind of like that one up ahead is. He's just right on my path, so... Yep, we'll get one more. Alright, this takes us all the way out to the kind of townish area here. So, mount back up. Get the idiot pony rubber band going in full effect. And I will stop by the hunter's camp, turn in all the stuff that I just got done, pick up any follow-ups, and then go get my crocodiles. So right now I've got one box to claim, and I'm just barely into that particular claim, so I'm just going to leave this up on the screen. Each one of these quest turn-ins is nicely, notably moving that forward. So that unlocks the daily buffalo quest.
Do you have need of something? What news has come in with the tide? There is much to be done and fewer hands by which to do it. There is much to be done and fewer hands by which...
So that's already gotten me another coffer.
What news has come in with the tide? Might you spare a moment? What news has come in with the tide?
And pick up the daily boar quest. And do all of these.
Might you spare a moment?
And claim my 2 boxes, see if anything good came out of them. Got coffer of ancient script, so that's 50 ancient script, 50 ancient script, and a couple of runes, so not bad. Now I've got water buffalo and boars again, plus crocs. Don't need any crabs, because that one is finished. So I've got all the different crab ones here, viscera and incisors and meat. And skins. Yeah, still just more crabs that way, which I do not need. So they can live for the moment. Of course, as soon as I get a quest to kill them, those suckers are dead. That is the way of the MMO. So if you give us a quest, we basically turn into sociopaths. Okay, one more croc should do it. Should be my last croc thing. Okay, excellent. So on the way in, that crab decided he wanted to join. Okay, you know how this goes, crab. Stopped and got the quick buffalo haunch because it was right on the way. And if I see any boars, I'm going to nab them, but I don't see any. So turn all these in here.
Might you spare a moment? Might you spare a moment? What news has come in with the tide? Might you
So that's going
spare
to
a
unlock
moment?
killing another named one.
There is
And
much
another
to be
named
done,
croc, so that's 2 named that I'm looking for, and unlocking the daily version of the croc killer. So right back down I go into Crocland. And since I've kind of massacred that first area, I'm gonna keep going down here, downriver. That's crab, there's a croc. And I should be able to get everything I need here in a dozen crocs total. Wandering lion here for some odd reason, but hey, I'll take him. I think he was just here to show me where the ore was. So that is halfway done with the crocs. There's 7 of 12. Boyo here makes 8, and his buddy is 9. One more croc and I am done with them for the moment. Okay, that is my crocs done. Now keep working on water buffaloes and boars. Boars are the ones I always find to be a little bit more of a pain because there's not quite as good of a single point of concentration of them, I find. Like water buffaloes, you can go across the road from the camp and just get a ton of them. Whereas boars don't have that nice, easy single collection point. And there's a whole handful of people out here doing these. Again, quick detour for the lion. Here's a water buffalo right by some ore. So continuing our theme of kill the zone. And let's see what we got. Got a lion. There we go, there's a boar. So that is 8 of 12 on boars and 8 of 12 on buffalo. Take a because he's here lion detour real quick. Okay, that's boars almost done. That was 11 of 12. And here should be 12. So I need to get 2 more buffalo. And I see one roaming off over here by itself. And one right past it. Perfect. Alright, now there's a named croc down here I need. So I'm going to go take care of it real quick. He's usually out here in these flats. There he is. And there's another named further down the road here, it looks like. So I want to go see if I can get both of those taken care of before I go back to camp. So I should be looking for Omakaru. Was a legendary ancient crab. Wonderful. I love the crab mobs. They're so much fun. So I imagine he'll be down in this kind of beachy area here. I see crabs, I see crocodiles. Ooh, that looks like a... Nope, that's a croc. I were a giant crab. Oh, I would be that crab. Okay, that is crab done. I do not need to kill any more crocs right now. I will leave work on that deed for later. Now back to camp to turn these in. So definitely not nearly as bad as the Bell-Insul crab, which isn't surprising. I mean, these are made to be intentionally soloable daily quests, whereas the Bell-Insul is aimed at a well-geared solo or duo / small fellowship if you're low-geared, and these are solo quests. Kitty, why are you on the road? That's not a good spot for you. Okay, turn in the daily boar quest. Daily buffalo. Oops, it's not a turn in. And you want some trophies, as well as the daily
There is
crocodile.
much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. Do you have need of something? Do you
So,
have
not
need
bad.
of
That got me the 4 dailies done, as well as all of the kind of prep for dailies, the kind of initial run-ins. And a couple of ore nodes to end off that massacre. Not bad. So I think that is where I'm going to stick a pin in things for today. Do I have anything to clear out here? Nope, just deeds. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good there. Got a lot of good progress done. Got a nice piece of gear, and most of, at least one of my weekly wrappers for missions and delvings, and progress on the rest. So, could have been better on the delving loot, but it is what it is. Let's see who all is online and running Lotro. Is anybody on? Not a lot, but Lord Eater is on, so gonna pop over there.